Good morning, seniors. My name is Mr. Wright. Many of you already know me as I work really closely with our college success team. I am a school director in training working at Conservatory Green High School this year. I worked at our College View High School previously for a long time, and so I'm excited to be a part of the Hornets Nest this year and be a part of a historic moment for y'all as you take your first SAT, real deal SAT and CG. So it's here. If you are taking the SAT tomorrow, this morning meeting is for you. It's got a lot of important information. If you are not taking the SAT tomorrow, you can tune me out and check your email for a calendar invite from this joiner. You do need to come to school tomorrow. You are going to all of your classes tomorrow, so you should have an invite from this joiner for what to do for that. Today, for those of you who are taking the SAT, we're going to cover all of the health and safety pieces that you need to know, including what happens before the test, what happens during pre-administration, what happens during the test, and what happens after the test. We'll also close with some testing tips because it's probably been a while since you've heard these. This is a historic opportunity. Thousands of seniors are scrambling to get into an SAT right now. There's kids driving hours and hours across across state lines even to get into take an SAT at like a random high school. And so we're super happy that we're able to provide this opportunity for you all to take this test in a building you've been in before, with adults you know, with other students you know. So we're really lucky to be able to do this. As I'm sure many of you know, most colleges are test optional because of how challenging it is to take an SAT right now. However, an SAT score could help your application in some cases. It really depends. And so your college counselor will work with you after you get your score to determine if you want to send it to any of the schools you're applying to and if it's going to help your application. Even if you don't get a score that you end up submitting, I know that you all are really excited to take this just to show what you know and take pride in all of you learned. You worked incredibly hard to be able to take this test. And so whether you submit a score or not, this is a huge opportunity for you and one that we're excited to be able to provide. First health and safety piece is that we are going to have a staggered schedule. Every student is not taking the SAT at the same time tomorrow. You and the 14 other students you are testing with have a specific time where you need to arrive and a specific time where you're taking the test. Some of you are testing at 8:30, some of you are testing at 10:30. So to find out what time you need to come to take your test, you need to search your email for an email from me. My name is Mr. Wright. You can spell it here and search Wright SAT. It should come right up. And it's going to have a testing ticket that has all the information that I'm covering in today's morning meeting, as well as this information here. So for me, my name is Josh Wright. I can see that I need to come between 9:50 and 10:05. So I've got a 15-minute window where I can arrive. Really want to arrive on the earlier end of that window. Do not want to be caught late. My testing time is here, so here's when I can expect to go home so I can communicate with my family and everybody what time they can expect me home. It's really important that you arrive on time. If you get here too early, we're not going to be able to let you in the building because we want to have that staggered schedule where only 15 or so people are arriving at a given time and moving through our hallways to maximize the social distance in our building. So if you arrive early, you are going to have to wait outside. It's going to be cold on Tuesday, so really plan to arrive within this window and not early. And if you're late, you're going to have to wait for a long time until our afternoon session, and that's going to be really tough. So be on time, be on time, be on time. The next health and safety piece is screening. So we've partnered with myhealthbox.net, and all of you already have logins and everything set up on this. So you're just going to go to this website on your phone, log in using your school email and your lunch number. You'll complete the questions, and then you will get this green clear pass that you can bring on your phone and show when you arrive. That's what's going to get you into our building, is you having this clear pass on your phone. So let's take a minute right now to just go ahead and try this out and practice this. You're going to go to myhealthbox.net. Your login is your DSST email, and your password is your lunch number. So pause the video now. Take a couple of minutes to try this out and make sure that you know how to do this before tomorrow. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get it. The next thing that's going to happen is a temperature check. You're going to get here, and we have a thermal camera set up at our front doors that checks every adult and student that walks through the building. It's a really advanced device and really accurate. However, we do also have handheld thermometers. So if anything weird happens, it's showing that you have a fever, we're going to pull you aside and just double check to make sure that you don't, using our hand thermometer. If you do have a fever, you are going to need to go home. If you drove yourself to school or are walking, you can leave at that point. And if not, we have an isolation room that you can wait in until someone is able to come pick you up. Social distance is critical, and you probably miss your friends. I know it's been a tough senior year not being able to see each other, but it's important that we're staying 6 feet away. Throughout our screening process and on the way to your testing room, we have these stickers on the ground that are going to show you where to wait. It's really important that we're maintaining distance, whether we're waiting to use the restroom or walking to our testing room or leaving school for the day. It's really important that we're maintaining that distance for the safety of ourselves and others. Masks are required for students and staff. Everyone must wear a mask, and most importantly, everyone must wear a mask correctly the entire time. We can't have our mask around our neck or just the nose peeking out, or like, not completely done up at the bottom. It's really important that we're wearing our mask correctly, covering your nose, covering your mouth the entire time. If we're not able to wear a face mask correctly, we can be dismissed from the test and not able to get a score. So it's really important that we're considering the safety of ourselves and others and wearing a mask for the SAT tomorrow. The last thing, and this one's tough, is we are not allowed to have food in the testing rooms this year because it requires you to have your mask off for a significant amount of time. And so really need to eat a big breakfast. The test is around 4.5 hours, including pre-administration. And so it's really important that you eat a really big breakfast because we're not going to be able to have food in the testing room. You can bring water. You can move your mask to the side for a little bit to drink some water, but there's not any food allowed this year. That's tough, but it is what it is. We have to do our best within the bounds that we're given for health and safety, and this is one of them. So eat a big breakfast. Think about what you want to eat right now and post your favorite big breakfast in the chat. Here's what you should bring. Bring a backpack to keep your phone in. You're going to bring your phone so you can show the clear pass and get past that safety screening. And then you're going to need to put it in your backpack so you can leave it outside the testing room. Bring a water bottle, a calculator, some pencils, and your lunch number. You will need your lunch number to log on to the ClearPass system. You're also going to need it for pre-administration. Don't bring anything that sends an electronic signal, whether it's a smartwatch or a Fitbit or even AirPods. AirPods send electronic signals. They're not allowed in the testing room. You will need to leave those outside. Don't bring snacks. Unfortunately, we can't have snacks in the testing room this year. And again, bring your phone for the screener, but you're going to need to leave it outside of the room in your backpack so that when you leave, you can just grab your backpack and go. Before testing, complete the health screening before you get here. It's going to be tough if you don't have that done. You're going to have to complete it on the spot, and it's going to be a big thing. So make sure that you complete that at home in the morning. Eat a big breakfast. You're not going to have any snacks, so make sure that you eat really well before the test. Arrive during your arrival window. Be on time so that you don't have to wait outside in the cold. You'll go through the screening, have your temperature taken, and go to your testing room. You need to leave all your electronics in the backpack in the hallway. Those can't make it in the testing room. Otherwise, you risk invalidating your score and the scores of your peers that all of you have worked so hard to get over the past 4 years. The next part is the pre-administration. This is something that you haven't done before as a part of the PSAT because we give you your scores as a school. In this section, when you get the test, you're going to fill out all of your personal information, your name, your address, all of that stuff so that they know where to send the score to. We're going to get the scores fairly late, but you need to make sure that College Board sends you your score. So doing this accurately is critical. You risk getting your score late or not getting your score at all if you're not filling this out correctly. So make sure to take your time, bubble everything in correctly, and make sure that all of your personal information is correct. The next section of the pre-administration is score reporting. This is where you can select colleges to send your scores to. We've talked about this in seminar, but we do not recommend that you fill this section out. This is primarily intended for juniors who are looking to show interest in colleges. As we've explained many times, whether or not to submit your SAT score is a pretty complex equation, and your college counsel will work with you when you get your score to determine which colleges will you send your score to and which will you not send your score to. And we want to be able to make that decision school by school, so wait until you get your score before doing any of that. So this is not a section you need to fill out. Don't worry about this part. And then the last part of the pre-administration is like an optional questionnaire. You can choose if you would like to give your demographic information to the College Board for the sake of research, but again, this is something that is entirely optional and up to you. So you can fill it out if you would like. If not, you can leave it. It's not going to affect anything else. During testing, really important that you're answering every question. There is no penalty for guessing on the SAT. Bubble answers darkly and completely, just like on the pre-administration. You want to make sure that you're bubbling super completely and towards not making any mistakes there. Finally, use all of your time. If you finish early, go back and check your work, use every minute that you have available. And finally, these gridded answers you've had practice with before, but it's really important that you read the directions on the answer sheet. It would be a shame if you got the correct answer, but because you filled it in this way, you didn't get the points. After testing, we got to leave right away. The staggered testing schedule is designed to maximize distancing between student cohorts. So it's really important after your test is done that you leave right away. Make sure you have a plan to get a ride home or wait off campus until your ride is out as well. And finally, we'll end with some testing tips. Sleep well, eat well, test well. Research shows that those who sleep a lot the night before have better data on tests. That's just been proven time and again. Eat that big breakfast because we're not going to have any snacks. Your goal is to maximize your points, right? Like look at each section before you start the questions and game plan. Like what are the easiest questions? What are the hardest questions? What do I need to spend the most time on, the least time on, and maximize the amount of points you get. Eliminate answer choices and guess. Some percentage of them you'll get right. So if you can eliminate even one answer choice, you've taken it from a 25% chance to a 33% chance, and that is still something. Lastly, answer everything. As I mentioned earlier, there's no penalty for guessing, so you should have an answer for every question. And finally, read the questions first before reading those long passages. Know what you're reading for and read with a purpose. And that's it. We're going to close out. If you have any questions, feel free to send an email to me. I am Josh Wright. You should already have an email from me in your inbox with your testing ticket, so you can just reply to that. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have ahead of the SAT. And we're going to close out with a message from some special people.
Class of 2021, we are so excited that you're taking the SAT tomorrow. We could not be more thrilled. You're going to do fantastic.
Yay, seniors. We're so excited. Good luck tomorrow. You guys are going to crush it.
Hey everyone, I know that you guys are going to be amazing. You have worked incredibly hard for this. Show off everything that you know and everything that you can do. Take it in some confidence. Go seniors.
I am so excited and so proud of all of you. Remember, read all the text 2 times, maybe even 3 times, 4 if you want to feel really good.
Guys, we are so proud of you from being in that old Samsonite building, burning up, doing math in the hallways, to here you are taking the SAT with like such good chances of just killing it, blowing out of the water, obviously in math because that's the best subject. We're so proud of you. If you can make it through all of that, you're going to crush it today, tomorrow. Good luck, guys. We love you so much.
You got this, seniors.
Awesome.